Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Insights. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for joining us, Linda.
Oh, thank you for having me here. I'm excited to be here.
It's my pleasure. Now, I'm especially excited to have you here for our environment article. I know that's something that you do feel very passionately about. So I'd like to ask you about this. I'd also like to ask you specifically about energy. In the article, we're talking about businesses that are purchasing carbon offsets, and in particular, United Airlines, who are trying to go carbon neutral by 2050. What are your thoughts about businesses purchasing carbon offsets, especially an airline company like this?
Well, first of all, I think it's a good goal that these companies want to be carbon neutral, and they don't really have means of reducing their pollution. I mean, I think that that's not their first option. So their alternative is to purchase these carbon offsets so that they'll end up being carbon neutral. So they're still putting into the atmosphere, the environment, the pollution that comes from the airplanes. But by purchasing these carbon offsets, they can become carbon neutral. So it's, so it balances out, but it's still not getting to the root of the problem, which is them producing this pollution, the airplanes still pumping out all of this pollution into the environment.
Right. Okay. So now speaking about dealing with the root of the problem, right? Sometimes there's just airplanes are going to create pollution. You know, we can try to work that out, but we're still, the technology is just the way it is.
Right.
So one of the ways that maybe we can actively take pollution out, take carbon out of the atmosphere, is using carbon capture technologies. Now, do you think this is a better approach?
Well, theoretically, it's ideal, right? That you can take carbon out of the atmosphere, but I don't know how realistic it is. I mean, I think that companies like the airline industry, they should be putting more efforts, be putting more funds into finding ways that are more sustainable, or like using more sustainable energy instead of using fossil fuels. But I don't think that is their priority. So they want to find other ways that they can offset the carbon that they are releasing.
Right, right. Yeah, it's all part of a process. Hopefully we're going to be ending at a more complete solution. Like
Yes, I hope so. Yeah, for the environment, for the earth, I really do hope so.
And very quickly, what is something that you try to do to save energy?
Well, I'm always trying to save energy any little way I can because it all counts. I turn off the lights when I leave the room, right? Things that I'm not using at the moment, then I'll switch off. Also, you know, I don't stand with the fridge door open, although I'm tempted to, you know, or the freezer door, because that is wasting energy. Also, anything that produces heat or like cooling, like for example, the air conditioner or the heater, you try to use those sparingly. I mean, it's comfortable, but, you know, think about reducing the amount of energy you use.
Absolutely. So it's all about those little things that you do, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us for today's episode of Insights. Thank you for joining us, Linda.
You're welcome.
And I hope to see you guys on our next go-round with the Insights. See you next time.